Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions of the LG V50 Thinq 5G. This is the Korean version, so I'm going to go through all the bits I had to do to de-crapware this or de-bloat this, and tell you does certain things work, like Google Pay and that sort of stuff. Just run through what I've noticed so far. Let's take a look at the LG V50 Thinq, and this is the Korean version. So you'll notice, start on the back, there's these little pins. So I have got the second screen optional accessory, and I don't know how you missed that. Sorry, this has actually got my SIM in, so we might get some notifications come through as we record this, but it does have the options connected to that. And I'm just going to bring this down. What you will notice, there's let me see, there's actually a 5G logo here, and it's under glass, and it does light up. And of course, whilst I've been showing you, there you go. So there are notifications on that have come through, and I'll need to just make sure there's nothing incriminating. But this is the back side. On this side here, you have the Google Assistant button, and you can change that for a couple other things. Here you have the nano SIM card and micro SD. I have got a 512 micro SD card from Samsung in there. And then you've got your power and volume rockers here. You just see that on the light. And you've got your mic on the top. And here you have the world's best headphone, 3.5mm headphone jack on a phone, USB Type-C, and your boombox speaker. So you'll notice that I do have notifications. This is an OLED panel, and this is a 5G phone. It's a 6.4-inch Quad HD OLED panel. The audio system on here is tuned with Meridian. It's got a boombox speaker. It has DTX X 3D sound, and it's just got the most amazing headphone output. But is it any better than the LG G40? Is it better than other phones like that? We'll take a close look. So if you look more now at the sort of camera setup, what we have here is you've got three cameras. You've got the standard 78-inch field of view with an f1.5. The sensor 5 is 1/2.6. Pixels are 1.4, and it's a 12 megapixel. Pretty good sensor. Super wide is 107 degrees. Now, when you compare that to something like the S10 that's about 130, it's definitely not as wide, but it's better than nothing. And the telephoto is 45 degrees and an f2.4. On the front, you've got two cameras on the front, and you can see that. One's 80 degrees and one's 90 degrees. The main one is f1.9, and the other one is the 90 degree wide angle is f2.2. And a lot of these cameras, some of the sort of features on the cameras, just to sort of give you an idea, on the rear, you've got 16 times continuous zoom, 2 times optical zoom, 5 times digital zoom, and 1.6 times optical zoom out. There's lots of features with the cameras, which is why I'm going to do a separate camera review. I'm just going to go through some of the options, and if you look at the camera app as I'm going through this, that might help. As you can see, at the moment I'm in manual video mode, and there's tons and tons of different options here. The camera app has all these different modes, from portrait, studio, auto, AI cam, manual camera. I don't like how the modes are set up. Manual video, flash, jump out, YouTube live, triple shot, very fun using that, I quite like actually. Panorama, Q lens, night view, cine shot, slow-mo, food, story shot, pentashot, which is 5, AR stickers. There's an awful lot of options, and you'll notice you can slide in and out of focus like so, and wide, and you've got tons and tons of options. And you can also jump between them pressing the icons at the back. It has OIS and EIS. It has 10-bit HDR image sensor, which is supposed to be capture up to 211% more colours. Again, on the camera review, we'll test all that. It says it's got the triple shot, triple preview, super bright camera. So in low light, it can automatically adjust itself. You can also adjust some of the night mode. You can control the night mode, so you don't have to have an aggressive night mode. You can adjust that. It's got Graphy 2, lots and lots of different options from the camera point of view. What I have had to do is de-bloat this. Now, as you can see, that I am connected. So am I connected to Wi-Fi? Let's have a look. I'm not connected to any Wi-Fi at the moment. Wi-Fi is on, so just toggle that off. I'm in quite a remote part of my house, so I'm at the very extreme, so sometimes the Wi-Fi does drop out. Let's do that. So obviously there's something wrong with my Wi-Fi at the moment, which is a bit frustrating because I'll need to upload the video. But this will say the Korean version, and I've got pretty much everything on one. I haven't got app drawer, I don't like that option. Everything under one option here, all on the first screen. Believe it or not, there were 30 Korean apps that I had to remove, 30. But I did actually uninstall them all. 3 had to be disabled, and there's only one, where is it, that I couldn't actually get rid of or disable, which is the TV app. That's just one of those things, it's the way it is. But that's the only one I couldn't actually hide, but there were 30 crapware Korean apps. So this is a Korean version, and it is a network phone, so you might expect well there's a few more apps. But the good news is that 99% of them are all uninstallable. So what do you have left in terms of some of the Korean stuff? Well, because it's a KT handset, bring that a bit nearer, I can't get rid of that option at the top there, so I don't bother with it, and it is what it is. You can see I'm actually connected to the Powerbeats Pro. They work extremely well with this. I did a whole podcast with this phone and using the Powerbeats Pro. You've got option to turn off 5G, whether you want that on or off, in the mobile data as well. So if you go into here, I better be careful, so I don't want to actually reveal my phone number. Just check I didn't do that. No. Tethering, screen sharing, NFC, sharing panel, file sharing, media server, AirDrive, mirror link, printing, mobile networks, VPN, private DNS options as well. Now, what you can do with this, which is quite remarkable, you can use this as a Wi-Fi extender. So if you're in a remote part of your house, it would be handy if my router hadn't dropped out. You could actually then have another device to connect to this while this device is still on the internet, still, you can still browse and everything else yourself on here, but someone else can connect to this device, and then you're using this as the extender. Very handy. I will say, in terms of Wi-Fi speeds and mobile data speeds, this was probably 25–30% faster speeds than my Galaxy S10. I did some speed tests on it, and I was quite surprised. Sound profiles, you've got all the various sound profiles. You've got ring to you, ring vibration, and here, this is another one of the first times here that you'll see these are all in Korean. They don't change even though I've got English language as the actual settings. In terms of headphones in the box, I've got them here. These are the headphones that came in the box. They're quite lightweight. They've got a mic, a sort of braided cord. You can see that. And they actually sound quite nice. They're not too bad at all. You won't be disappointed with them. They're better than the Galaxy Buds that come with it. The S10 that is. These are the AKG ones that come with the S10. So now I've plugged in headphones here. You've got the hi-fi quad DAC tuned by Meridian. You've got sound presets, and again, I'm going to cover the audio quality, and you've got digital filters. This can natively play back MQA as well, which is particularly good. Alright, so back in, I noticed the Hi-Fi quad DAC turned off, and that's because my Powerbeats Pro kept connecting. Even though they're in the case, they're obviously still active because I had them out of the case not too long ago. I was using them. They don't just turn off instantly, or power off instantly. So anyway, Hi-Fi quad DAC, cover it off in more detail with a number of headphones. But needs to say, if you know anything about LG quad DAC, you know it's the best on the market for a phone. No question about that at all. So you've got Do Not Disturb. It's also got the boombox where it uses the sound, which again I'll do some demos in my next review on the audio review. You've got display, some of the options here on display. So home screen here, you can select whether you want the app drawer or not, or the easy home. You've got wallpaper. Again, you can select different wallpapers and themes. You go in the theme store. Also in the theme store, that is pretty much in Korean, but again, it's quite easy to work out what's what. Let's just show you that actually. So if you go to theme, and you can see that these cost, but if you tap here, you'll see these say free. So you can quite quickly work out what's what, and the pictures make it fairly straightforward. So nothing too much to worry about. You've got here, you can have the Google feed, smart bulletin. So you've got options as to which one you want. You know, there's a lot of customization on this, but actually useful customization. You can change the grid size on the home screen, sort apps by, and you can do it that way. Loop home screen search, swipe down on the home screen, and then you can prevent stuff from being sort of rearranged or removed by accident on the home screen options. Wallpaper and theme, which is pretty much where we were. So you can, another way of doing that, the fonts. So you've got different options on the fonts and the font size. Download more fonts, you can have bold text as well. New second screen, that's just for, bring that down a bit, for this bit up here. So if you do custom, and then you can change all this sort of stuff as well. Why would you have, you know, something different, just have it standard? But you've got options there. And you can also, if you do custom, you can change the corners. So I don't know if you can see here, look at here. You can have it like so, straight, or you can have it curved. There are certainly some weird options, I don't really understand that. Home touchscreen buttons. So here you can have gesture buttons, buttons only, and you can just see, put the gesture. Button combination, so you can have like so, the options there. I might do that because I'll work that around. And then you can change the colors, the bottom here. I mean, you know, you've got quite a bit of customization, but again, I'll keep it very straightforward. And let's have a look. Like so, that's on the home touchscreen buttons. App scaling, display size, so you can change the zoom as well on the display size. You've got resolution. I've got it on full, the high. You can have it at 1080p, obviously save the battery, but you don't need to. There's no, it's just the battery life on the seems to be very good so far. Screen color, you've got a whole range of presets, color temperature, and then you can tune it by RGB levels, which is pretty handy. HDR, a video effect, when playing full screen videos for brighter, more vibrant colors. Comfort view, which is just less strain on the eyes. Brightness, screen timeout, screensaver, mini view. So you've got a number of options there. Lock screen and security. So you've got all the usual stuff that you would find there. You can use the fingerprints to actually take a screenshot or flick down on the back. The fingerprint sensor is on the back, so that's quite handy. Apps and notifications, that's pretty self-explanatory. Storage, so this is 128 gig, and you can see I've got a 5112 gig card in there. accounts, accessibility, and you've got a number of different accessibility options sitting in there. Smart Doctor, which is also as an app, that's to help keep everything trim. You can optimize the phone using this. You've got gaming controls, floating bar, and the floating bar gives you shortcut screen captures. Just turn it on, show what it looks like. Left or right edges. So you should see it here is it now. Okay, close. And you just tap on it, and there we go. You've got, and you open it, and then you can scroll between different options. Let's turn the flow bar off. Gaming, screen recording, so you've got all that sort of stuff. Gaming mode, you can adjust things from notifications, game graphics, all sorts of bits and pieces to help have better games. Dual apps, so within there you can have, depends on which one you've installed, the more options, more social media apps you install, the more options that appear in here. So they exist under dual apps. Knock on, update center, both for their own apps and also for software. This has had 2 firmwares out of the box. It's on the 1st of May. It was on the 1st of May, but it's just still had 2 firmware updates, and About Phone and quick support here. So all in all, nice screen as you can see, and everything seems to be working very well. I have set up Google Pay, no problem at all. Haven't tested it yet because I haven't been anywhere literally where they can accept Google Pay. But the fact that it's set up fine, I can't believe it won't work. In terms of other apps installed, I do have every single app I would have had on any other phone, all working perfectly on here so far. Not had any issues, despite the fact, yes, it's a Korean version. In fact, some of the apps work better than on some other phones I've had that are not UK supplied models. So everything you see seems to be working really well. This is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. So we're a dedicated camera review. Really needs it because there's so much this thing does. And I'll also do a separate one on the audio. Any questions, really now you need to ask them, and speak to you guys soon. Bye for now.